Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Let's have a great day. Alright, so we're going to leave this lovely music in the background if y'all don't mind, because it's nice to have something for audio, and we won't have what we did last time. Yeah. Welcome! How is everyone today? I know this is a bit different, but that's because what we're working on today. Gonna go a slightly different route to prepare for some of the festivus events that are on the border of our events. And so that is what brings us here. We will be using thus today for a bit. And so let us go ahead and pull that up. The other parts we'll be using are these. Oh, what is this? This is interesting. It is very interesting. Oh, equipment. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. We'll see what we can do. So, this is not a test as a rule system. Squad-based combat, very, very similar to, say, Necromunda. Give me just a second here, I gotta fix one thing. Well, it wasn't letting me do what I was hoping, so go about it slightly differently. But hey, now we're working. Alright, thanks for your patience. Trying to make sure everything's set to go. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for everyone who's joining us. Feel free to chat and say hi if you are here. Otherwise, we're getting this show on the road. Let me pull this one up. So there is a demo rules, and for sake of making things easier for everyone and using something that anyone can get their hands on for free, I'm going to use this because it is a free release by the team that makes this is not a test for anyone to access, and so we're going to be using this as our use. And so this is what you can actually grab for free off their site and play with, and so what I'm going to do is use it. We'll be doing this today. We'll go ahead and read it over later, and the other thing we're going to be doing is using their sample warbands, which I believe they had 2 of them. Yeah, Peacekeepers, Law Dogs, and the Mutant Killjoys are going to face off against each other. The other thing we're going to use is their beta rules for going it alone. And what we're going to do is have both teams essentially get to be AI based to try this out. Now, if you're actually playing the warband, you choose what they do. This is rules to basically have dice determine what they do. And so we're going to use that as just kind of a base for, you know, fun reasons. So, that's where we find ourselves. Yes. Alright, trying to get to the page we need to be on. Alright, there we go. Activate function. Enemy try to give examples of model's turn. Here we go. So we'll be looking over this and getting that all set today as well. I had this warband sheet. I was considering using it, but we'll probably just be using it to have another access to this. And, of course, we will be using this. Our personal choice here on what we use as a, you know, place to do things. And we'll let it finish doing its thing and come back to it. So, first off, let's look at the demo rules. We're going to look at the 2 teams. And I think I'm going to try to pull this part off to a separate screen so we can easily look at it and know what we have to work with. Alright, so mutants. So what I did is I took that first row, name type, all that, and put it out. And then we're going to put the individual details there. So we have Kilroy, then we're going to do Mutant, Six defense, 2 wounds, 5 move, 6 melee, 6 range, 6 strength, 7 metal. He has Motivator and Electric Shock. And he has Assault Rifle and Small Blade. Cool. So that's 1. Now we have Pokey. Who has 6. And he has 1 wound, 5 move. He has 4 melee, 4 range, and 5 strength. And same with metal. He has spikes. And a submachine gun and light weapon. Snake Eyes. He's a mutant with 6 defense. 6 defense is pretty common. I wonder why. 1 wound, 5 move, 4 move, 5 metal. He has the Chameleon. And he has a machine pistol and light weapon. Next up is the twins. Who, of course, is a mutant. And he comes in heralding 6 defense with 2 wounds and 5 move, 4, 5 metal. He has 2 heads, special rule. Flamethrower and light weapon. Finally, we have Davy. Heralding 6 defense, 1 wound, 5 move, 4 melee, 4 range, 5 metal, caustic blood. And rifle and light weapon. Bam, there we go. That's the killjoys. Then I'm going to do our lovely peacekeepers called the Loud Dogs. Just going to pull up Notepad since I used Notepad++ for the first one, so we can keep them a little bit easier separate. I know I can move Notepad++ to different screen, but I figured this would just be easier to ensure which one we're doing. Law Dogs are Notepad, and Mutants, the Killjoys, are Notepad++. Law don't go around here, Law Dog. Yeah, I heard you the first time. Officer Brick! Officer Brick! Officer O'Brien. Officer Dutch. Outrider Montoya. There we go. So we have both our teams pulled off over there, so it's easy to view. So I want to do that so we don't have to scroll up. We can stick on the special rules and have that list here and handy to go. Woot! Alright, so armory, we can always, look at that. That's part of why I have, I pulled out all the little snippets and made this as a nice, this is the full rules, not the sample rules equipment. So, if we need any equipment reference, we have that quick and handy. 3 pages. And none of them have relics, so that won't matter anyways. So that's actually 1.5 pages, I should say. So there's 1.5 pages of relics. And then that means we don't need to worry about this part. So it's just the special rules that they give us that we need to worry about. And that's why I wanted to have that pulled up, and we're ready to go. We'll also be looking at the mission in those rules, so we know what we're doing with that. I want to make sure I got the message out. Yeah, I did. Alright. Thought I hit send on the mission, just want to make sure. Alright. Go to loan. We're going to need this sample here up. Okay, so got it. Okay. So Raider Wrecker is 5 because of modifier of 2. Okay. Okay. Got it. So we look here, and you roll a d6 on these tables, and the d10 is for this table, so we can know what they do. And so the first d10 is, are they defensive, offensive, or objective? If they're offensive or defensive, I guess you roll in the enemy chart, and if they're objective, they focus on the objective. Cool. And then cautious, reserved, aggressive, reckless. We need to look at exactly how they like explaining those. So unlike having a bunch of different AP and MP, they just have AP, which is used for both. And so you have a certain number of AP that you get 1 or 2. You roll a metal check, and if you pass, you get 2. If you fail, you get 1. But we'll see that in more detail coming up here. Alright, cool. That makes sense. Wish there's an easy way to just get this to read aloud. Oh, does that actually work? Just out of curiosity.
This is not a test.
Hey, cool.
It alone. Solo wargaming rules for TNT.
Who might do that? Cool. I need to take care of a quick restroom break. Unfortunately, it, when it calls, right? I'm going to run ad breaks during any break I do so that we can try to ensure that anyone who jumps in doesn't get the pre-roll ads, because they only disable it when we manually run ads. So give me just a moment and we will be right back. Alright, I'm here trying to get the dogs situated. So doing that turns the pre-roll off for 30 minutes, it looks like. So I'd like to try to remember to do that so we can disable it for when people stop in, you know, they don't have to deal with that. All right. Oh, cool.
TNT beta playtest edition. This 2 3 Acknowledgements. 4. This is not a test. This document was created to play against a warband using an AI system.
Ooh.
This is done by either following flowcharts and/or guidelines. This allows for solo play, cooperative play, or even having an AI play with other players in a multiplayer scenario. At times, players may need to use some common sense to play out an AI's turn. A warband must be created normally by a player. Basic selections are recommended, and it is best not to over-equip a model with weapons or special rules. The more basic the model, the easier it will play on the board. Deploying an AI-controlled warband. The player-controlled warbands set up and deploy as normal following the deployment section in the selected scenario. Once all player-controlled warbands have been deployed, the AI-controlled warband then deploys. Following the scenario's deployment rules, determine the center of the AI's deployment zones. Place a model in the center of one of its deployment zones and scatter. The model
Interesting
D10.
way to do it.
If the model is within 2 of cover, move their deployment point to that position of cover. Continue selecting models and deploying them until all models from the warband have been deployed. Choosing which AI
we may or
models
may not go
activate.
that route.
For each member in the AI-controlled warband, create a token with their name on it. Either flip the tokens face down
No, what I meant to do. Sorry about that.
so the names cannot be seen, or place them in a container and mix them around. A player then selects a single token. Whichever name is selected is the model that will activate. Set the revealed tokens aside until all models have been activated. Once a new turn begins, reset the tokens.
Right,
It is
which is
recommended
standard
to add
play.
the model type behavior modifier, found at the very end of this document, to each token of each AI model. This will make more sense later on. For
Yeah,
example, a caravan guard has a model type behavior modifier, -2. You would then note down -2 on the token that represents the model. Creating an AI warband.
I could see that.
Solo play rules. 5. 2 ways to play. Players can choose to play the AI in 2 different ways. They can either follow a strict flow chart, or they can follow some basic guidelines, and choose what the AI model does for its turn. Both can be used during a scenario. How activated models
And we could
function.
do one of each, I think.
First, determine
for
how
this
many
first
AP the
go-round.
model will get by performing an activation test as normal.
Right,
Once
which
a
is the
model
metal test I
activated,
mentioned.
a player should do the following. 1. Roll 2 d10s. The first d10 will determine the model's type of behavior, and the second d10 will determine the model's type of action. 2. When the d10 is rolled for the behavior, you must then look up the model type behavior modifier, found at the very end of this document, that will be added to the die result. For example, d10 result of 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. 3. Once the behavior and action is determined, use the following chart to determine which behavior/action flow chart, or behavior and action guidelines, located at the end of the document, to follow. 4. It is up to the
I
players
think we'll do
whether
one
to
of
control
each.
the AI with the behavior/action flow chart, or behavior and action guidelines. 5. Roll a d6. Depending on what type of action is rolled will determine the model's target. If a defensive or offensive action is rolled, then determine who the current enemy target is by following the enemy target choice table. Enemy
Yep.
target choice table. D6 roll target. 1 to 2 easiest to hit asterisk. 3 to 4 easiest to wound asterisk. 5 specialist asterisk. 6 leader/elite asterisk. Asterisk: if there are multiple models who fit the description of the target, the AI model will target the closest of those types. If an AI model
Which
uses
makes
a template
sense.
/ blast weapon, the selected enemy target will always be the one that causes the most enemy models to be hit if they can reach them with the AP they have.
That makes
If
sense.
an objective action is rolled, the model will focus on the mission at hand. They will do whatever is best to obtain victory points from the scenario's mission description. Lead a cargo animal off the table towards the closest table edge, collect water, etc. However, sometimes there can be more than one objective. If there is multiple objectives, then follow the objective target choice table. Objective target choice table. D6 roll objective asterisk. 1 closest. 2 most enemies within 5. 3 least enemies within 5. 4 least allies within 5. 5 no models from either side within 5. 6 highest VP value. Asterisk: if the main mission of the scenario is to take models out of action, roll on the enemy target choice table. 6. Complete the model's activation by following the chosen behavior / action flow chart, or behavior and action guidelines. Behavior / action table.
It makes pretty much
D10 roll cautious
sense.
1 to 2 reserve,
So, I
3
mean, it's
to
pretty
5
basic.
aggressive, 6 to 8 reckless, 9 to 10.
Very logical.
Defensive 1 to
So
3
that's good.
cautious, defensive reserve, defensive aggressive, defensive reckless, defensive. Offensive 4 to 6 cautious, offensive reserve, defensive aggressive, offensive reckless, offensive. Objective 7 to 0 cautious, objective reserved, objective aggressive, objective reckless, objective. 6. This is not a test. 5. 2 ways to play. Players can choose to play the AI in 2 different ways. They can either follow a strict flow chart, or they can follow some basic.
Why are you reading the wrong section? Down here, girl.
6. This is not a test. AI activation sequence reviewed. Select randomly which AI model activates. Roll to see how many AP the model receives by activating them and performing an activation test. Roll a d10 to determine the model's behavior: cautious, reserved, aggressive, or reckless. Modify the d10 result with the model type behavior modifier number to get the final result. Roll a d10 to determine the model's action: defensive, offensive, or objective. Follow the behavior / action chart to determine which flowchart to follow from the behavior / action flow charts, or use the behavior and action guidelines. Roll a d6. Depending on what the model's action is will determine if the model is targeting an enemy model or focusing on the objective. Perform the model's turn by following the correct behavior / action flow chart, or behavior and action guidelines. Select another AI model if the current model passed their activation
So we're
test
pretty good
and
at that.
repeat,
Hey,
or
Tomo
else the
man.
passes
How's it
on.
going? We're looking at the
Example of
this
an
is
AI
not a
model's
test
turn.
AI rules.
1.
I'm
A player
letting the
selects
computer
a
do the
random AI
reading so
model
that we can
activate,
save our
which
voice
turns out to be a raider wrecker.
for commentary
2.
and
A
such.
player rolls a metal test to determine how many AP the AI model has this turn. 3. A player rolls 2 separate D10s and a D6. The results are D10 equals 3, D10 equals 8, D6 equals
We're going
3.
to do a AI
4.
versus
The AI
AI
model's model type
playoff
behavior modifier is added
between
to the result of the
the
behavior
Law
D10.
Dogs and
The new
the
result of the behavior die
Killjoys.
would be 3. D10 result plus 2. Model type behavior modifier of the Raider Wrecker equals 5. 5. Looking at the behavior / action chart, the first D10, a 3 modified to a 5, will become a reserved behavior. And the second D10, 8, will be an objective action. This will be a reserved / objective result. 6. Since the action is objective, the D6, 3, result is consulted on the objective target choice table. If the action would
So
have
far, this
resulted
makes
in
pretty
either
much
defensive or
it makes
offensive,
pretty good
the
sense,
D6, 3,
and it's
roll
very
would have been consulted on the enemy target
logical
choice
and
table
progress.
instead. In this
Standard.
example, the D6, 3, would become an objective target choice, least enemies within 5. 7. Now that the behavior, action, and target of the AI model is known, it is up to the player to either follow the correct behavior / action flow chart, or follow the behavior and action guidelines to play the AI model's turn. In this example, the player would follow the behavior / action flow chart of reserved / objective, or the reserved behavior and objective action guidelines. Solo play rules. 7. Cautious behavior. Priorities. Cover prone unjam combat concentrate burst suppressive fire. Movement
So they're
always end in
priorities.
/behind
Makes
cover, or
sense.
as close to it as possible. Stay prone if there is an enemy to shoot at, unless in charging range of another enemy. Ranged concentrate when attacking use burst if a 6+ is needed to hit target use suppressive fire, if an 8+ is needed to hit target. Jammed weapons always unjam weapons, unless out of cover or in close combat. Close combat push enemies away if alone, and or outnumbered in close combat only charge into close combat if they will outnumber the opposing side. Concentrate attacks if possible. Reserved behavior.
Makes sense.
Priorities cover unjam prone combat concentrate burst suppressive fire.
Okay.
Movement always end in slash behind cover or as close to it as possible. Stay prone if there is an enemy to shoot at. Ranged concentrate when attacking use burst if a 6+ is needed to hit target. Use suppressive fire if a 9+ is needed to hit target. Jammed weapons always unjam weapons unless in close combat.
Makes sense.
Close combat push enemies away if alone,
So reserved
or
and
outnumbered
cautious
in
are much
close
more
combat
range
only
focused.
charge into close combat if they will outnumber the opposing side. Concentrate attacks if possible. Aggressive behavior. Priorities unjam combat cover prone burst concentrate suppressive fire. Movement only seek cover if beneficial to its goal. Leave prone position as soon as possible. Ranged use burst if a 7+ is needed to hit target. Use suppressive fire if a 9+ is needed to hit target. Jammed weapons always attempt to unjam weapons. Close combat hold enemies in close combat unless outnumbered. Use as many melee attacks possible. Reckless behavior. Priorities combat unjam cover prone burst concentrate suppressive fire. Movement always move its full movement towards goal. Leave prone position as soon as possible. Ranged always use burst when possible. Use suppressive fire if a 9+ is needed to hit target. Jammed weapons unjam weapons when no enemies to charge or attack in close combat. Close combat hold enemies in close combat. Use as many melee attacks possible. Defensive actions.
Kind of makes sense. Just basically
Priorities
charge
hold
and
objective advance
smack.
move and slash behind cover if in range and sight of enemy. Ranged weapons go on hold if there are no targets to shoot slash charge. Offensive actions. Priorities advance objective hold move towards target shoot slash charge target if possible. Objective actions. Priorities objective hold advance focus on the objective of the scenario to gain VPs. Behavior slash action guidelines. Once the AI model's behavior is determined, follow the rule. 7. Cautious behavior. Priorities.
No, I'm
cover
telling you
prone
to
unjam
I'm
combat,
telling you to go to
concentrate
page
burst
8.
suppressive fire.
Can you listen to me? No, you're not going to. Okay, that's fine. All right, so that works. That makes sense. I mean, a lot of it is basically just guidelines on how to make them function, and it makes sense. The ones we're going to be interested in are the mutant and the preserver. So let's pull those back up, or not preserver, the peacekeepers. So let's pull that up on our sheets that we created and get those set so we're good to go. We'll just add their modifier. I don't know, after metal, I guess. Alright, so they don't actually say what their class is on the demo rules, do they? Like, they have the info, but it doesn't say what they are. Interesting. Alright, well that works. We'll have to pick as what fits best. Normally you'd have that info of what essentially class they were, what do they call it? Title. What title they are. But I don't see titles here. But these are just sample demo rules that came out well before this, so it doesn't surprise me. Alright, let's see. We have mutant, that's for sure. I think Kilroy is probably an alpha. Yeah. And then Pokey, submachine gun light weapon, so he's in very basic stat line, so he's probably one of the standard infantry. So probably just a mutant, so -1 on the others. Yeah. Flamethrower, so we'll call him a mutant gunner. And then rifle. Guess that kind of mutant gunner works again. And then for peacekeepers, martial law, of course, is a marshal. So that one's real hard, right? Har har har. I believe that would be the warden. Alright, so Officer Brick is a melee weapon only, so he's going to be more aggressive than the others. We'll call him a sacrificial lamb, I think fits him. However, same stats as the other officer, so maybe not. Maybe he's actually just a road marshal. Outrider is -3. Wow. And once we get this all set up, we'll definitely tag the timeline on the stream and then go ahead and move forward with the actual gameplay. Just gotta get set up here, as didn't have time to do that over the weekend with everything going absolute chaos that I had. So I guess he actually could be a road marshal, but it's the same modifier for the martial law. Officer, though, is a -1. Alright, we got that set. So we have our modifiers, that's good. Cautious defensive. I wish there was a way I could flip this easy. Is there? Yeah, there we go. It makes all the others off, but we'll keep one flipped this way and then we'll open a duplicate copy and flip it the other way. Or leave it upright. By the way, Tom, how was your weekend? You looking forward to doing This Is Not a Test with us? Cool, that'll work. The flowchart, I don't know. That actually might take longer than the other. Yeah, there we go. Now we have them both up so we can look at either one. Those are just the modifiers, so these are what we're going to focus on. Guidelines is the other one we're going to do. Kind of think. What do you guys think? Should we do the flowchart, or should we do the guidelines? Or should we do one of each? I'll let you guys pick. Alright, so demo rules, here we have them. We need to get down to the special rules. Subset, good. And then we have the quick reference. So, quickly to go over the quick reference with everyone. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Yeah, this is not a test as different than Necromunda in some ways, but it's very similar as a very small squad-based combat system. And it's a lot cheaper for people to get into, so I wanted to spotlight it more than a more expensive option. Mainly because it's a good rule set, it's a fun, flavored world. It basically fits Fallout. You could reflavor easy enough for Necromunda. It's dynamic enough you can make it be what you need. And you know, D10 systems are fun, right? So, to start with, you start a test. You roll a D10 plus stat modifier and must equal or beat target number. For activating, that is a 10. So you roll a D10 and add your metal and see if you meet or beat 10. So the nice thing there is your we'll go back over here, scroll back up for a test. So you say your leader, if you get a 3 or greater, you pass and have 2 actions. If you get less, you fail. So the green troops, or less skilled troops, have 5, so they have a 50-50 chance of successfully activating, which isn't bad. Of course, there's modifiers that can be had to that, as we see with Motivator. Conspiring speech to all around. All friendly models within 6 inches get +1 to activation test. So technically they have activation test D10 plus 6, which is pretty cool. And it shows why that's a good skill. So, the fun thing is, you keep activating until you fail an activation test, and then it switches to the other party's turn until they fail an activation test, and then it goes back to you until everyone gets to go. So you could potentially have where one team does all their moves, then it goes to the other team and they do all their moves. That's pretty cool. So what can you do with one action? You can move, you can stand up from prone, you can do a ranged attack, you can unjam a weapon, well, remove one unjam jam token. Some weapons have like 2-3 jam tokens. You can make a close combat attack, you can concentrate, which allows you to get a bonus to your shot. You can use an ability, if you have one, or a special ability, I should say. You can climb at 1/3 normal movement rate, so you can move up if you need to climb a building or tower. You can charge if you need to move into close combat, and that gives you a free close combat attack if you make the charge and get in there. You also can switch a weapon, may drop, draw, or put away a weapon. Hold allows you to sacrifice all AP on a model to interrupt the active model's action with your own during your turn. You can only do a 1 action point option, which, you know, basically for hold, you'd want to hold ranged attack, and when they move within range, bing, you know, Overwatch. So that makes sense. So basically that's the Overwatch or ambush action. That's what hold is, and it takes additional AP. And holding can only be front 180 degrees, which makes sense. If they're coming directly behind you, your peripheral vision doesn't allow you to see behind. Potentially there's an argument it could be a little more than 180, a little less than 180, depending on the person's, you know, peripheral vision, but that's pretty good standard. 1 per round. Just like Necromunda, every round, everyone gets 1 activation. And so there's jam tokens, there's, just like Necromunda has a lot of tokens, there's jam tokens, activation tokens, stuff like that. If you double move, you also get a, what do they call it? I can't remember, but you get a minus to your, they get a minus to their hit on you if you've moved extra. Yeah, target used 2 move actions this turn. So if you use 2 move actions, they get a -1 to hit you. One or two AP per guy. It's right here. Activation. If you pass your activation test, you get 2 actions. If you fail, you get 1 action. So if you have a rifle that only is allowed to shoot once per turn, well, all you do is go concentrate, fire. And what that would do, that's if you pass. Otherwise, you just fire and hope you hit. But if you concentrate, that allows you to get a +2 on your roll. So that makes sense. If you have a slower shooting rifle, you're going to take a little bit longer to aim. Otherwise, you have burst fire, which allows you to fire multiple times, but you don't get the additional modifier to help. So it's really cool. Morale is a test you take. It's a metal 10. So that goes back to what we talked about, you add your metal to your D10 roll. So green will have 50-50 chance for morale. Yeah. Even on a fail, you get 1 AP. And then it switches to the other team opponent. It switches to the opponent's turn. So that's the nice thing. Even if you fail, you at least can do something. If you pass, you can do something extra. And then the next person can go in your team. If you fail, you get to do one thing, and then the other guy gets to go. So it's a really... I like the way that works, because... So you definitely get rewarded for passing, but if you fail, you still get something. So it's one of those nice things where you're not totally out if you fail, but it is advantageous to succeed. Does that make sense? I like that. I think that's a good way to do it. Basically, if you hold your cool in combat, you're more combat effective than if you lose it. Morale test is also something that has to be taken when a model on your side... Okay, so when the model is wounded, but not killed, the designated leader is killed. When models on the side are reduced to 50% of models, or when your side is reduced to 75% of models. Pass, no effect. Failure, make an immediate move action towards the board's edge, ending in cover if possible. And you continue that until you pass. So you can have people run off the board, which is, common for Necromunda. Melee combat is a melee versus melee test. It's an opposed test, where ranged combat is a target 10 test, which makes sense. I mean, marksmanship doesn't exactly take an effect on, the other person doesn't really have an effect on your marksmanship. But melee, their melee skill does have an effect on yours, because who can punch or dodge or block? So I really like that they did that as well, where melee is an opposed check, ranged is a target number check. So that's really cool. And as you see, target number 10 again, target number 10 is very common. But target number 10, for ranged attack, that means you need to get a 10. Melee combat, you could get a 7. If they get a 6, you still win. So it's really cool. But what that means is, ranged combat, the additional aim that you can get from concentrating with one of your AP is cool, because you get a +2, which means a 20% chance increase in hitting. And who's going to scoff at, a 20% chance increase, right? I mean, raise your hand if you take a, 20% raise. Reliability, when a model rolls a 1 on any to hit roll when firing, they get jammed. So basically it's a crit fail, your weapon jams, which Necromunda has that as well. And so then you got to unjam it. the weapon will actually give a reliability, and that reliability tells you how many jam tokens you get when it jams. A rifle has 1 jam token. An assault rifle has 2. So you need to take 2 AP to unjam it fully, where a rifle only takes 1. But the advantage of the assault rifle is you can fire multiple times per turn, where the rifle you can only fire once. So, exactly. That's what's awesome. There's different benefits to each, and that's one thing I really like about this system. It's not like, oh, well, you obviously want to go with, because then you're going to win. It's like, no, not necessarily. You might. Multi-shots is the other thing I was talking about. Models spending AP to shoot multiple times can only target models within 3-inch radius, which makes sense. I mean, you can't fire here and then fire right behind you on the same turn real quickly, or you're not going to be accurate. So to give a sample for that, they have it where you have to target models within 3, but you can go bap 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 if they're all next to each other, if you have a rapid fire weapon like that. Suppressive fire, you have a better chance to hit, but you don't wound them. You just graze them. Unless, of course, you crit. So that's pretty cool. So suppressive fire, you're more likely to hit, but you only graze, you don't actually wound. For wounding, you do an imposed test, strength versus defense. So either strength of the melee combatant or strength of the gun you're using. So it's pretty cool. It's a very, I think, kind of logical way of doing it, and I think it functions well. I mean, you could see how you could easily, modify weapons if you wanted to make, like a, improved aim, so you get a special scope. Okay, well, you can get a +1 to your concentration check when you concentrate with a rifle, because it's a sniper rifle and it has, an upgraded scope. Okay, that means they have +3 to their hit, like suppressive fire would give. But that still means that you can only attack once per round. So I really like the potential to modify things as well for our campaign to, reward special things like that. They do have a sniper rifle, which you can't move and fire in the same turn. You have to move or fire. It has a further range, and it does have the +1 to hit example that I was talking about. So, basically, exemplifying the scope, the assisted aim from an attachment. But this is the basic rules for combat. I mean, you have this sheet, and you have your characters. You're good to go. That's actually why I made this warband sheet. It's a personal thing. The guy hasn't made it or permitted it its existence. It's just a personal thing. I took it and made it a form fillable PDF, and then had it where you can fill it all out, which is cool. But the basic rules, the quick reference sheet, is basically what you're going to want for playing, and with that in your personal Warband's rules, you're good to go. So, yep. Pretty basic rules, pretty clear, concise rules. Allows for, in my mind, easy adaptation or moldability to things. On that topic, actually, since you're here, Tomo, as well, I want to make sure I mention this to you. We are using if it wants to allow me to do the right thing. Of course, it opens the wrong drive. Here we go. I thought I put it in there. Checking the folder, seeing if I put it in there. Yeah. I put these in there. It's an unofficial rule system that someone did for settlement building rules. It was actually mini wargaming. I don't know. if you've heard of them, but they're pretty awesome for these style games, Warhammer stuff. But they had these basic rules for building a shelter and settlement. What it does, it allow you to get slight modifiers on your missions, or get additional upkeep. So you can get your troops' upkeep covered by having food. You can, get a modifier to your, abilities every time you use it. It's for the next mission sort of thing. It's good. I like it. It's nothing that seems to be overpowering, but I think it'd be pretty awesome to use this as kind of a flavor for our war bands. Give them meaning and reason to what they're doing. So we'll be using that. I did put a sheet here that talks about kind of the premise of what we're focusing on and doing. So definitely looking forward to it. And I need to correct this because he is no longer, and we have Tomo and Pure who are doing it now. I think that's how he had his name. Give me a second here to look. Yeah, it's a house rules. And I mean, it's nothing major. It just gives something to spend other money on to give boosts to try to help your group. Weigh the options sort of thing. And if you read this, I basically had it where this is the kind of the setting and the campaign document. I don't know if you or Pure have read it yet, Tomo, but this is hey, this is what's happening. You guys were sent out as leaders from your community. You have 400 barter script, warband. Basically, you're given 400 barter script to equip and prepare yourselves, and you're being sent out to. We need a new outpost. We're running short on space, and so you're going out and you're going to set up a new outpost and build that up, as well as stake a claim on the territory. So it's kind of like the Necromunda has their hideout, their base of operations, and you're going to actually create your base of operations. Tomo, if I remember correctly, you are going to do what was it? I think the Remnant is what you said. You're doing the Remnant Survivors, right? Let me look in the list. What? Oh, it opened it there. Yeah, Remnant Survivor. Trying to remember what Pure said he was going to do. Let me look through there. not seeing what he said. He said he was thinking about doing a mutant psyker, so I'm not sure if he went mutant, so I'm going to put mutant there for now, and we'll see what he says. So that's our current group, which I'm looking forward to. I really am. So. I do need to figure out when everyone's available. I don't know. Yeah, Tomo, do you have availability you can add so we can try to make sure we get everyone scheduled? I have the dock out there that is shared on the drive so that we can try to schedule everyone. But yeah, definitely looking forward to doing this. It's going to be fun, I think. Excited. And I just labeled it for fun, The World's End. Kind of a nice, fun post-apocalyptic name, right? So. All right, let's see here. I think we're set on everything to go. We just need to get the table set up and get models and get this show on the road. Just double checking everything. Okay. Pause my music. Evil machine. Okay. Alright. I'll see what I can do. Feel free to throw that in the document so I can make sure I don't forget if you don't mind. Oh, that's a working document of something else. All right. Trying to check one quick thing here, but of course it's being the pill. Why not, right? When it can, it wants to. Alright. Let me move this off to my screen on the side here so I can reference it when needed. I can always pull it back in if we need to show anyone and reference anything. But I think we're good to go on getting this test run going. Let's get the table set up and then we will kick things off. We got the flowchart, we got special rules, we got the quick reference, we got the, what is it, six model warband. Yeah. No, that's right. Five model warband. I don't have any two-headed mutants, so we're gonna have to call two heads one head, I think, unless I can find something that I don't remember having. I definitely need to pull some of the models into their own folder to make it easier to find and do. I did find a table I wanted to try out for this. Where was it? I found a few Necromunda maps that I wanted to try. Alright, what was this one? This was just... Oh, right. Sample stuff. Yeah. Might use some of these. You can set up your base. Alright, so that was not one of the Necromunda ones, which I kind of knew it wasn't, but wanted to check. Where is it? There was Necromunda shipping container Hellzone. Let's check that one. Why not? Just trying to get a good map, just as a base for us to use. Yeah, we'll use this. A little bit chaotic, but hey, that works for what we're doing. We'll have the Law Dogs deploy on one side and the Killjoys on the other, and we'll let them duke it out. Oh, that reminds me, we need to look at the mission. So we don't lose that one. Let's open it. Yeah, shipping yard. It's a good place for... Hey, I didn't tell you to print. There we go. And like I said, I'm using this demo rules so that anyone can technically download it and try it if they want. The same thing we're doing. Alright, so thanks for nothing. Wasteland, keen control over water, so this is water supply area. Yeah, water hunting. Water hunting in a shipping container yard. Why not? They heard there is a bottled water company was shipping water through here. Okay. Mission. They need to determine the number of units of water they're able to get out. So a unit of water. So you can get a unit of water off the board is 4 VP, and a unit of water in your possession is 3. And of course, wounding or taking the model out of action gets you 1 VP, which is victory points. Basically, rating your score, who wins. Deploy along table edge, pretty standard. Two actions to acquire water. So you have to succeed your activation while you're next to it, and then you can siphon water out of it. That makes sense. Okay. Where did they say the number of water tanks or water heaters? Okay, so far it makes sense. You're basically trying to acquire water and get it off in a post-apocalyptic situation. That makes sense. And we're not going to bother with XP this turn because we're not keeping these warbands around. But for the campaign, XP is going to be king. Getting your warband up in quality, you know? Okay, so it looks like you're supposed to have one water heater. So we'll designate some place on the map to be the water heater, and then basically they'll both try to get water and get it off the map, and we'll set a designated area to be a extraction zone off the map. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's what we'll do. So the Lot Dogs are trying to secure the water for the town of, I don't know, Turpentine, and the Killjoys are trying to acquire it for themselves in their mutant community of Warts. So, Warts versus Turpentine. Who's going to get the water? These have a stasis shift, but it doesn't look like it actually does anything. Odd. So, computer desk with papers. Let's pretend that that actually will give you information on which container to check. Otherwise, they have to check a few different containers to find out which one has the water. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And then could make those water heaters, but then there's a bunch of them. And we don't want to have too much because then they can just ignore each other and go for the water. Too much like a generator, not enough like a water. Let's try this one. Yeah. So instead of water heater, it looks more like a water tower, but that's alright. So we'll say they have to search them to find them, and it's located in a central location. So this one. So it's inside there. Or maybe it's on top. Because it used to be a settlement of some sort or something. Sure. Yeah, that works. Alright. I hope you guys are excited to see this. We definitely need to pull some models in. I need to go check one quick thing. And I'm going to go ahead and kick off another ad break to disable the pre-rolls so that anyone who wants to come in doesn't have to worry about, the pre-roll ads that Twitch likes making us all have. So let me do that quickly, and then we will grab some random models and get this Show on the road. So that timer's more so I also know how long the commercial's going for, so that I know kind of when to start talking to everyone again. But hey, if you're a subscriber, you don't have to worry about commercials. What? Helmet means no ads. There we go. So now we can avoid any pre-roll ads for people joining us for 30 minutes. Woot! So now we need to just find some models and we'll kick things off. I do know I have some Warhammer ones, and there's some other ones that I know of that we're going to go for. They'll at least work for the Law Dogs. I don't know that I have any very good ones for the Killjoys, but we'll do what we can, right? You can only do what you can do. Alright, making sure the other screen here has all the right things pulled up. Why did you not pull up? Oh, right, because you're still over here. I need to move you back over here. That's why you're not displaying. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Nope. I want this one. And I want this one. There's some, what do you call them? Stalker models in here. That's the other thing. I need to schedule time with all of the 4 players to get their warband set up, like the models. I was debating to use that one instead, but we'll stick with what we got. Oh, come on now, come on. We're trying to get our sample set up. Let us do it. Ooh, water. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We're going to modify the mission, and we're going to actually use these instead. I like that idea. We'll just drop a bunch of those around the map. Or have it where each container potentially has, you know, D3 units, D3 units, sort of thing that they can get out. I don't know, something like that. I'm trying to change it up, have it a little bit more fun with it, instead of just, you know, go straight, because I always change things and make stories out of them. That's the whole point of the channel. Make stories. Have fun. It's a Glöfnikov. Do you not understand what it is? It's a, you know, it's the thing, the stifish. Let's see what we need here. Keep going. Some good artwork, though. Maybe we can use those as art assets and stuff you can find. And like these, we could definitely use for things you find in the world. That would be a lot of fun. There's a mission that's going to use this, and you guys could potentially claim it as your base of operations, your outpost. You know, custom gear. I like that. I like that. Nice, nice, nice. I'm trying to find the actual... Look at that, it's just a backpack. I thought so. I like it, but we're looking for actual models for the Law Dogs. Which every time I say that makes me think, Law don't go around here, Law Dog. Yeah, I heard you the first time. Ike, that's what it was. Ike Clanton. Ike Clanton was the one that was doing it. It's like, who? What was the character who said that line? Of course I'm not going to mention the movie. That's up for everyone else to figure out, right? It's only fair that way. That's how quotes are supposed to work, right? You use them and you don't cite them so people can try to figure them out. Whoa! Effects. Yes, effects are great. We're not going to use effects right now. That's a cool one. Where is what I need? Here we go. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. All right. Finally. All right. So we need Marshall. We need Officer Brick, Officer O'Brien, Officer Dutch, and Outrider Montoya. Let's decide who we want for which. There we go. I don't think there's any good mutant figures here. I know there's some Fallout 3 models, but they're not mutant. Caravanners would work well for them. I don't have any good mutant models here. Okay, didn't expect them to. That's not what that one's for. What do you guys think? Works for mutants? I know there's the Chaos Mutants. What are they called? The Possessed, but they don't. They're a little bit more than just mutant. They are warp mutants, not just mutations. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We could use Tyranids, but they don't quite have the bipedal weaponry on a lot of their individuals. Squatted armies? Oh, cool. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll get some orky boys to be our mutants. So we need Kilroy, we need Pokey, we need Snake Eyes, we need the twins, and we need Davy. Could you expand for me, please? Definitely working on it. Alright, taking his time, taking his time. Well, right. So we can color code them to make it easier to know who's who. That's kind of what I was thinking. Or, you know, at least have the looks different in some way. We'll go with you, we'll go with you, go with you. I don't know. So Flammer, do you have a Flammer? Kind of wish it would say what they're, you know, equipped with. But, you know, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't expect them to do that level of detail. That's not needed. Just would be appreciated as an additional aspect. Doing this is awesome enough. What, just a standard knob or boss? Ooh, Commando Flamer. Yeah, there you go. Not sure what the difference about those two, but that's not the point. Alright. Ooh, that looks like a looted knight. That's cool. Can I get just a generic boss with Shuda? So, how did Kilroy get his name? Did he kill Roy? Alright, come on, come on. Where's the noob? Because you know knob is too hard to say. You gotta say noob, right? Well, if I can't find it here soon, we'll just go with what we got and call it good. Because, you know, don't want to waste all the time looking. I need to definitely, like I said, get the warbands built with everyone. But I don't want to waste all our time now. Ooh. I just figured out what we can do for twins. We're going to merge a Gretchen into an orc and call it for twins. Yeah. Trying to see if there's one that kind of has arms in a more neutral position to, you know, hide him. Because it'll work well for twins. We'll just embed a Gretchen into him so he has two heads. Because he's supposed to have two heads. This is knobs. Where's the knob with just a shooter? Just a shooter. Nothing else. Just a shooter. I guess he does have a assault rifle and small blade, so we'll go with that, I guess. That's claw. Do you have one with just small blade? What's that one? That's a huge chopper. That can be a small blade, I guess. Eh. Yeah, we're good. We'll stick with that. Alright, so this is our boss man. So we're going to rename him. He is Kilroy. So Kilroy, the leader of the mutant mob. Alright. And just downsize them all a little bit. They don't need to be orc size, they need to be more like mutant size. Let's see. Twins has flamethrower light weapon. So who's the flamethrower? You are. Yeah, that'll work. Go with that guy. I know this is not going to look great. That's not the point. It's just to give him the indication that he has the two heads. For kicks and giggles, you know? Right. There we go. Now we have a really terrible looking twins, which is fine. We kind of weren't expecting it to be perfect. Just a quick something. Hey, we the twins. We got the flammer. We got the heat. Alright, so now we have ugly looking twins. Rifle. We're gonna get us Davy. Davy's a more accurate individual. Because he's the rifle wielder of the group. The others have machine pistol and submachine gun. So look for one that looks more like an orc marksman, because those always exist, right? It's going to be the machine pistol. Submachine gun. We'll go with those for the other three. Alright, cool. This is Davy. And then we have Snake Eyes and Pokey. Snake Eyes has a machine pistol. And he loves rolling Snake Eyes and gets Jams tokens all the time, right? And then finally is Pokey. He's a submachine gun and light weapon. Everyone knows that Pokey's slow. Actually, we'll do a quick look at the special rules as well. I'm just going to call that good for deployment. Now we'll look over here at these individuals. Hey, man. Well, you know, it's fun, right? We're doing, this is not a test play run. It should! It should, that's the point. That's the point. That is precisely the point. So, Law Dogs are going to be these individuals for now. Who's going to be martial law? We'll have you be martial law. Or should we have you be martial law? I don't know. What do you guys think? Left or right for martial law? And then we have the officers. Brick, O'Brien, Dutch. think we'll have them be those individuals. And then we have Outrider Montoya. I think this will be a good Outrider Montoya. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so martial law has submachine gun and light weapon. We'll make martial law be the lighter one, I think. Yeah, we'll use that for martial law, why not? Commit to it so you can't change your mind. Officer Brick. There we go. Both groups. Uh-oh, hold on. What is going on? That does not sound like our music. Did you mess up again, you crazy thing? Come on. Yep. At least it's still within the proper person, but why did you get off the playlist? Alright, let me reset it, because that's a little more fantasy than what we're going for. Doesn't sound bad, but it's more fantasy-ish than we're doing. Don't know why it got off the list when I told it to stay on the list. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. Alright. Martial law is on. Let's get Outrider Montoya on there. We'll have her, him, they start back there. We'll go ahead and put those individuals there with their commanding individual. Alright, so we are ready to go. We have deployed, and these are going to be the water acquisitions that they try to get. Yeah, we'll say that the mutants got here and searched, ransacked the area some, and so they're in position to acquire water, and that brought the attention of martial law and his individuals because they want to help their town. And so that is where we will go, and this is the water that they seek to get. We'll scatter a few of them around. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, why not? Looks good. trying to make sure the stream's going because the one that was showing it decided to stop. Okay, we're good. Cool. All right, so back to our order of play. We start off with we have deployed. We have the behavior guidelines up, as well as the behavior action table. So we need to create a 2D 8d6 or 2d10 d6 option, not saved. We're going to go to components, dice. We want 2d10. We'll color them differently so we know what they are, and a d6 likewise. There we go. Red will be their, what do they call it? Behavior, and green will be the action. There we go. Those are for the determination for the AI move. We will also go ahead and get a standard D10 out, and we'll call it the primary D10 that we use for ruling all the things. Let's go for metal this time. Why not? D10 chrome. Sure. All right, and tint the color. We'll make it a little lighter. Didn't really seem to change the color a whole lot, did it? Nope, it didn't really. Alright, that's fine. I was trying to make it a little easier to read, so we're going to have to go with plastic because the metal ones apparently aren't super easy to read at that distance, and I want you guys to be able to view what we are doing. So this is going to be blue. Physics. And I believe bounciness was the one we found that we wanted to put a little bit on. Alright, and blue is going to be our primary dye. There we go. So we're going to see who goes first. One for the mutants. 6 for the marshals, peacekeepers. The law dogs go before the killjoys. Alright, so first off, I think we're going to have Marshall do the... no, because if Marshall moves out of range, then they won't get the boost. We're going to have Outrider Montoya activate and attempt to see what she does. She has a... ooh, ow. She may have just botched it. She has a 5 plus a 1 plus a 1 from martial law. Oh, actually, let me quickly flag the stream so people who miss it can come back and watch this part. Alright, so we are all set to go. We have the Killjoys versus the Law Dogs. And the Law Dogs won first turn. Outrider Montoya, Montoya rolled a 1 for her activation test, which means she fails activation even with the +1 from the leader, Martial Law. Yeah, she's within 6. So she has a total of 5 for herself, 1 for him, that makes 6, plus 1 more makes 7. Total does not make 10. She fails her activation. She has 1 AP. So, what is she going to do? We're going to roll these and find out. Her behavior gets a minus... Oh, this is minus 6. It should be minus 3, I believe. Just quickly scrolling down, checking it on the other screen. Outrider, yeah, minus 3. So that means she has a 1 on the choice, which means she is cautious, and an 8, which means she's going objective. So cautious objective for the law dogs, let's use the behavior guidelines, and for the others we'll use the flowchart. So cautious means she's going to go for cover. She's going to go prone if need be, and stay prone if there's an enemy to shoot at, unless the enemy is in charge range. She's going to try to concentrate and fire at an enemy, but she can't because she only has 1 movement. So what she will do is probably move into position for what I'm seeing here. And she got objective. So she's going to objective hold advance. So she's going to advance as there's no one else to do. She's not within sight for anything. Focus on securing VP is the goal for her, and we can roll the d6, which was a 2. She's going to go most enemies within 5, so she's going to focus on trying to get in position to secure the one closest to the enemy, which would be hard to say. It's one of these 3. That one would be technically the closest. So she's probably, yeah, she's going to move up and head towards that, but staying in cover. There's a ladder there, so she probably will move to that and be ready to move up at next turn, as she can't get all the way there this turn. She has 5-inch movement as standard. So yeah, she doesn't have enough movement to get all the way up, because climbing is, what, half? Or third. Climb, 1/3 move rate. So 1/3 move would not get her up there, because she only had 2 there, and that would take, what, an inch or 2 up? It's not letting me make it go up. I thought it would. Do I have the height off? Trying to remember how I did it before. That's why I didn't have 3D on. Yeah, she's going to have to spend her turn getting up the ladder next turn. So she moves, Outrider Montoya moves up to the ladder in position to acquire targets, as they know the mutants have arrived at the location, seeking the water before them. She failed her activation, so it goes to the Killjoys. On the Killjoy team, we shall have Davy activate first. Just so you know, I'm activating from the bottom up, just for no particular reason. So Davy is up. Davy, activate. Davy activates with a 2. which brings him to 8 on his roll, which is a fail. Alright, and how is he acting this turn? He is acting with a... Let's see, a 1 for his thing, so he's doing defensive. He's doing 5 minus 2 is... Sorry, 3, which makes he's defensive reserved, or reserved defensive. And he is focusing on easiest to wound. All about the same since they're in cover. Let's go to the decision tree. We said he's being reserve defensive, so reserve defensive is... If you're wondering, I'm looking at the flow chart that I showed you on the other screen. In cover, yes. Ranged weapon drawn, yes. Weapon gem, no. Target in range of sight, no. Prone, no. More than 1 AP, no. Move out of range and or line of sight of enemy, of weapons, and ending in cover. Okay, so he's just going to reposition slightly and be sure he's in cover and position to shoot. Alright, makes sense. Going to be giving him just slightly extra movement, but for, you know, wobbly model syndrome, we're going to go ahead and let him be just off the ramp. Hunkering down right there. There we go, Davey. And you failed, so it's back to the marshals. Marshals, you're up. Alright, so we're going with Officer Dutch. Officer Dutch gets a 2, which means he has a total of 5, 7, 8. 8 is still a fail. So he gets 1 AP. How is he acting this turn? Wow, aggressive. Behavior is at a -2? -1. So he's at a 9, which means he is reckless. And he is going reckless defensive. And target is easiest to hit. Alright. So he's just basically going to head for combat. I always move full movement towards goal. Leave prone position as soon as possible. Always burst. He does have an assault rifle, so he's basically going to try to go for the kill. No one's in sight, so he's going to have to move up the ladder. So that's going to take his move. So he's up there. Let's see, is anyone within range? The rifle's range is 24. Strength 7. So he will have to move up. So he will move towards the nearest enemy. So let's see what he can do. So Officer Dutch moves there, and turn plays back to the Killjoys. Killjoys try to activate the twin. The twins roll a 1, and once again, failed to activate, thereby only getting 1 AP and switching turn back to the marshals. What actions is the twins going to do this turn? The twins are at a -2 to behavior, therefore they are at a 7, which means they are aggressive. Their action is an 8, therefore they are going to go for the objective. And they're going to go for the one with most enemies. Oh, within 5 inches. So none of them are within 5. That's kind of what I thought. So you're just going to move for the closest objective. All right. You are there, twins. So closest objective is, I think, that one. So yeah, you're going to head that way. All right. No, because you only got 1 AP. Never mind. I made a mistake. Move back 5. There you go. Alright, so back to the marshals. The law dogs are up. Currently, O'Brien will attempt to activate. O'Brien gets a 2, making a 8 on his activation, which is a fail again. What is going on with this round? They are all failing. O'Brien, what are you going to do on your turn, sir? Ooh, you are going reckless. Wow, alright. Reckless, you're going to go for objectives. Most enemies within 5, so we'll go closest. So, getting the information, you would know that that is the closest by him reporting it, and so O'Brien is going to head for that one moving 5. Turn passes back to the Kilroys, who are going to activate Snake Eyes. Right? Yeah. Because it's their third. They just did their third. Yeah. Whoa! Snake Eyes successfully activates for the first time in this game. We had someone succeed at their activation. So he gets 2 AP. And how are you going to respond this round, sir? Behavior 2, -2. 2 minus 1, so 1. You have a 6 on your action, which makes it so you're going to be offensive. Offensive, cautious, specialist. So you're going after her. Interesting. So I said cautious, right? Yeah, cautious, offensive. Let's see what you get. Cautious, offensive. Here we go. It's a little blurry. Give me a second. Cautious, offensive. In cover. Should look at you, Snake Eyes, so I know the answer to these. Yeah, you're in cover. Wait, range weapon drawn. You have your machine pistol, so yes, it's drawn. Range weapon drawn, yes. Potential charging enemy, no. Weapon jammed, no. Target in range and line of sight, no. Line of sight, yes. Range, no. Prone, no. Move towards target, but stay out of charging distance of enemy if possible, ending in cover. You have 2 moves, so you should be able to accomplish that, sir. So you're going to head for Montoya. Right? Yeah, Montoya. Let's see. You can't get up there. That would be your best route to her, I think. Yeah, right now. And since you got 2, you can move twice. There you go. And you actually succeeded, so now Pokey can activate, or try to activate, I should say. Pokey activation test. He gets an 8, so he passes. Excellent, Pokey. What are you going to do, Pokey? Pokey also has a -1 on his behavior modifier, so he got an 8, which means he's going aggressive. He got a 4 on his action, which means he's going to go offensive. So he is aggressive, offensive, and target easiest to wound. So, Pokey, what does that mean for you? Scrolling down to that flow chart. Aggressive, offensive. Prone? No. Range weapon drawn? Yes. Weapon jammed? No. Target in range and line of sight? No. Move towards target ending in cover. Cool. In range, oh, and line of sight, yeah. So you're just going to go for him because he's the easiest, and so that would mean you would be going probably this direction. And you pass, so you can move twice as well. Alright. So now it is Kilroy's turn. Kilroy, are you going to manage to activate, sir? Kilroy has a 7. He activates successfully. He gets 2 moves. Kilroy is going to be what? Kilroy has a -2 on his behavior, therefore he has a 2, giving him cautious. He got a 7 on his action, so he's going to go for the objective, and the objective is least enemies within 5 inches, so any of them. So he's going to go for the nearest objective, which would be that one. And let's see. He has cautious objective. Let's look what we get there. Scroll back up to cautious objective as we were down on aggressive. Cautious. Cautious objective. We start with here. It's a little bit blurry when I rotate the page, so if I seem a little puzzled, that's why. Let's see. Cautious objective. In possession of objective. No. Enemy in possession of objective. No. Enemy within 10 inches of objective. No. Objective in cover. Yeah, there's cover near it. Okay. So move towards the objective ending into cover if possible. Makes sense? Like I said, we're just trying this out, seeing how we do. So you can move twice, so that means you can move 10. And that would be in cover because you're behind, you can't really be seen. Alright, turn plays back to them, and they actually, now the marshals, the law dogs here, get to activate everyone else, which is 2 individuals, Brick and Law. Do they still have to do activation tests to see if they pass? 1 AP for Officer Brick, and for Officer or Marshal Law, he passes, so he actually gets 2. Officer Brick, with your 1 AP, what are you going to do? 10. All right, reckless. Wow, even with your wow, yeah, Brick is going reckless all the way, and he has a 9, so he's going for recklessly for the objective. least allies. So no allies within 5, so it's just going to be nearest then. You are going to go, what do we say, reckless objective. Yeah, reckless means you're going to charge crazily as fast as you can towards your target, which is the objective. Okay. Let's see, brick. And finally, for this round, round 1, we have Marshall. What is Marshall going to do? Marshall has -2 on behavior, therefore we subtract 2 from the 9, giving us 7. Therefore he is aggressive, not reckless. He is aggressive, offensive. Aggressive, offensive. Target is specialist. Aggressive, offensive. Offensive actions. Move towards target, shoot, if possible. Advance and hold. Behavior aggressive, unjam if needed, otherwise go combat, go cover. And then prone if you have to. Let's see. Burst and concentrate suppressive fires, the order of operations for him. So burst fire if possible. 24 inch, I don't think he's going to be within range, but we're going to see how quickly we can get him within range. .31, and you have to be 24 for your weapon, so best way to get there would be to go up here and head over there. Yep. Still out of range, so you'll have to go next turn to get that. Cool. That is round 1. Ding, 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 ding. Round 2. Those within 6 of martial law will continue to get the +1. Those who are not will not. As an example, these 2 will not get the +1 to their activation. These 2 will. On this side, I think the twins are the only ones within 6. So I think the twins are the only ones who are going to get it. Because there are 4 outside, outside, and outside. Yep. All's good. All's good. Do what we can do. Let me see. The rifle, I believe, was 24 as well. Let's verify. No, rifle's 30. Oh, all right. So rifle has 20. Has 30. Assault rifle has 24. Davy, you are 5 inches outside of range of that individual. All right, good to know for Davy. And Davy and Outrider Montoya both have rifles, which means they have the 30-inch range. Martial Law has submachine gun. And let's see who has the other submachine gun. On the other side is Pokey has a submachine gun. As far as machine pistol is only on the mutant side. We have a shotgun on the Law Dog side. The Killjoys have a flamethrower, and the Law Dogs have an assault rifle. So, just quickly covering their weapons for anyone who's curious. Alright, so first up, we will start on the bottom again. Montoya! Woo! Montoya successfully activates. This round, she decides to... 2. Wow. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't zoom in like that on me. 2 means subtracts 3, so she's at a -1. Can't go below 1, therefore she is cautious. Her thing is the objective, so she is cautious objective, and the target is closest 1, which would be right there. So she decides, since no one's in range, apparently, from last round when she was trying to shoot someone, to go to the objective and try to get the water. Cautious means she's going to go from cover to cover. She's going to be prone if need be, or stay in prone if enemy can be shot at. course, unjam, and then okay, just looking it over. Objective means she's going to go for the objective. Alright, so she succeeded, so she can move twice. So Montoya is here, and that's the closest, so we'll have you go straight that way. I don't think there's another ladder up there. There is on the other side. Alright. Alright, thereabouts. So she should probably be like right up there, but we'll go ahead and get her into cover following that aspect. So next up is Dutch. Where is Dutch? Dutch is up there with the Marshal. Dutch rolls a 9, successfully activating. Well done, Dutch. So Dutch is going to do what this turn? Dutch gets a -2, thereby being cautious as well. And a 1 means he's going to be cautious defensive with a target of easiest to wound. Cautious defensive. So let's see. Defensive actions. Hold, advance. Hold objectives, advance. Move in behind cover. If in range, sight of enemy, ranged weapon. Go on hold if there's no targets to shove or shoot. Okay. He's successfully activated, so he actually can go on hold. He does have the assault rifle, so basically he should move to a decent position and go on hold, which he is not in a good position, so he's not going to be able to go on hold this turn. So let's say he moves up over here and gets in cover, and let's see if he's in range. Put him in cover since they're in cover. Why not? Should see what the other ones are, because, you know, could be worth using. Interesting. So 8 is dead. 4 is sleeping. 2 is crouched. 7 is crouched. Okay, so what's the difference between 7 and 2? Just a positioning? Yeah, it looks like just positioning, whether they're looking down or not. Well, cool. So they're in cover. He's out of AP there. I mean, I guess he could move up over here. And he would be in cover because he did have another extra inch or two. So we'll put him there. So next up is Officer O'Brien. Officer O'Brien once again fails to activate, so next turn is going to be the Killjoys. O'Brien, you get a 6 with a -1, therefore you are a 5, making you reserved. You are reserved and you're doing offensive, reserved offensive against a specialist, so you'd be focusing on the twins. So reserved means that you're going to focus on being in cover and concentrating and firing if possible. You failed. I don't think anyone's within your range, seeing as you have a shotgun. That was O'Brien, so you're just going to move up towards the objective, I think. And that's O'Brien. Next up, we have the Killroys team. Starting with Davy. Davy, are you going to activate? Davy fails to activate, giving back the turn to the Law Dogs. He does get his one move, so he's probably going to move up to there. But we'll see if, let's see, 30. Yeah, makes most sense, unless he gets objective. Then he would just go right back down where he came from. Yeah, we'll see what he gets. Maybe he'll decide to go for the objective since everyone's out of range. He got a 5, so he has technically a 3, which means he's reserved. He has offensive, so he is reserved, offensive. Target is easiest to wound. Reserved, offensive. Reserved, offensive. Let's see what the flowchart says for you. Are you prone? No. Are you in cover? Yes. Range weapon drawn? Yes. Jammed? No. Target in range or line of sight? No. Move towards ending in cover. Okay. Davy moves up to cover and readies to shoot the enemy when he can. Turn passes back to the Law Dogs, which means it is Officer Brick's turn. Officer Brick attempts to activate, scoring a 9, giving him 11 total. He successfully activates. Officer Brick is going to do what this turn? Officer Brick is going to go ahead and roll a 9 and be reckless. He's also going to get offensive, so he is reckless, offensive, and his target is easiest to wound. Okay, so he's just going to move towards target. So target would be the enemy model this time. So he hears the Killjoys and wants to head for them. So he's going to head for that one. So we go here or up here? Probably up here. Charge! Martial law. Do you activate? You get a 3+, you activate. You got a 3, you just activate martial law. What do you do this turn? Martial law goes ahead and is a cautious individual because he results in a 2. He is going to go for the objective, and the objective he's going to go for is no models from either side within 5, which is pretty much all of them. So closest one would be what it results to. And what he's going to do, if that is do so cautiously, which means, as we said before, he's going to focus on staying in cover. And movement always ends behind or in cover as close as possible. So the closest objective is that one. Let's have him roll a test to jump down. Yeah, it'll be a metal test, see if he's able to dexterously land. Three plus. Ooh, he doesn't make it. Martial law lands on the ground, but does not successfully land safely. He kind of fumbles and hurts his ankle a little bit. Why are you going on the sandbag instead of behind it? Oh, I didn't see that there's a hole there. Oh well. He was going for the objective anyways, so that's where he ends. That is the end of the Marshal's turn. Turn passes back to the other side. They still have all but Davy to activate, as they have not done anything else this turn. So, let us begin. Alright. Twins are up first. Twins activate with an 11. They have a 2, giving them cautious. They're going for the objective. Cautiously going for the objective with the highest BP. Okay. We are currently, I think, on reserved, right? Yeah, so we need to go back up to cautious. Objective. Here we go. Alright. I don't think they're within 10 of an objective. Well, they are. Is it an objective or his objective? Because he got 6, which is highest. Where's twins? There's twins. So yeah, he'd go for that one. Okay. Okay. So he's going to move towards that. He has a flamer. Let's see how far he can go. He did successfully activate, so he can move twice. Oh right, that one falls over the edge. I was like, why does it look? Because it does look like it's over the edge, because it is over the edge. So let's have him get behind that cover. He's heading for that objective. He's not within range, but he's close. Next up is actually going to be Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes, are you going to successfully activate? Snake Eyes successfully activates. Excellent. Getting a cautious defensive. All right. Let me check the music for us. Alright, cautious defensive. Let's see. Enemy model closer than target. No? Yes, he's in cover. Range weapon drawn. Yes. Is potential charging range of enemy? No. Weapon jammed? No. Target in range in line of sight? No. Prone? No. More than 1 AP? Yes. Go on hold. Okay. So Snake Eyes is on hold. I'm not sure that's going to do him a lot of good, but we'll see. On hold means he's going to use his machine pistol if someone moves or is within range of his machine pistol, which is range 12. And to see where range 12 would lead us, it is this range. So, not going to happen. But hey, that's fine. So he goes on hold, kind of searching around, wide-eyed. Snake eyes. I'm going to get someone. And so Pokey goes. Pokey fails to activate. And Pokey is a... Whoa, that just flipped on me. Well, whatever. He is reckless. Pokey's reckless. And he is defensive. So reckless, defensive, with a target of easiest to wound. So, reckless, defensive. Interesting. Reckless, defensive. Prone? No. Weapon drawn? Yes. Weapon jammed? No. Well, weapon jammed? No. Target in range and line of sight? No. Prone? No. More than 1 AP? He failed, so no. Move towards target ending in cover if possible. Alright. Cool. That is Pokey's round. Law dogs have nothing else, so it don't matter. So it's going to be Kilroy. Kilroy activates successfully. What is Kilroy going to do this turn? Kilroy is going to be cautious. And he's going to be defensive, and his target's going to be easiest to wound. So easiest to wound would be probably Officer Brick, because he's actually, potentially able to be seen. Let's see. So Officer Brick is your target, and you are cautious defensive? Is that right? Yeah, cautious defensive. If you're actually making the decisions for your team, it goes a little quicker than this. But we're using the AI mode for both teams just for fun. Alright. Enemy model closer than target. No. In cover? Yes. Range weapon drawn. Yes. Potential charging of... In potential charging range of enemy. No. Weapon jammed? No. Target in line of sight? Yes. Oh, target in range and line of sight. Line of sight, yes. Range, no. Prone? No. More than 1 AP? Yes. Go on hold. So Kilroy has a assault rifle. And so he's going to go on hold, so 24 inch. .24 inches gets us to just in front of him. Alright, cool. Alright, so now we have that. We're back to the top of the round. Give me a quick second. My liquid has ran out. And I believe we've met that timeline where we want to reinitiate the pre-roll so people don't have to watch. So, give me just 1 second to grab a liquid and we will press on. This time I'm only going to do a little bit shorter. Hope you guys understand. It does definitely dry out the throat talking constantly like that. But I also like it. It's fun. It's fun getting to make stories like that. All right. We were at the top of the round, so Marshall's attempt to activate turn 2. Wait, we did turn 2. This is turn 3. Derp. Turn 3. Currently no shots have been fired. They started off too far across from each other to do so. There should be most likely firing this turn because there are people within range. We got 2 people on Overwatch, Kilroy and Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes only has 12 inch, so I doubt he's actually going to succeed at getting anyone because it's awful far. However, Kilroy has 24, so he's potentially going to get someone. We'll see. Starting off with Outrider Montoya. No longer within range of martial law. So, straight activation. Last turn, she was heading for the objective. Let's see if she has had something else get her attention. Fails to activate. She is going reckless. No, she's not. She can't go reckless. She is aggressive. Aggressive, offensive, easiest to wound. So, aggressive, offensive, easiest to wound. Aggressive means the behavior action is priorities is unjam weapon if need be, combat if possible, go to cover, prone, burst if possible, concentrate, suppressive fire. Alright. So she is going to try to get the easiest to wound individual. She is there. So she would need to move up to be able to shoot. So she's definitely going to try to do that. She needs to be in 30 range. Cover from that one though. She may move to that direction. She got herself in a bad position last time for this round's decision. So I guess we'll have her get up here so she can be in a position to fire. So she moves up in behind cover and gets her rifle out and readies it. Unfortunately, that takes 2 apiece. Ooh, she failed. She can't do that. Now that I remember that, yeah, she failed. So she actually only makes it over to here. Trying to get up the ladder, she doesn't have quite enough to get up the ladder. So, yep, Davy's up. Davy failed last time too, so we'll see. 4, so he gets 9. He just barely fails. Davy, come on, Davy. Davy has the rifle, so 30-inch range. He is going to go with the -2, so that makes him be a 7. So he is aggressive. He's going for objective this time. Wow, it's the first time he's gone objective. All right, and he's going for least enemies within 5. So any of them but the 1. So aggressive, objective. So let me scroll down to that flow chart. Aggressive, objective. I should have printed these off so I had them all right in front of me, but like I said, I didn't have time to do anything this weekend. Aggressive, offensive. Yep. No, not offensive, objective. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Aggressive, objective. So, in possession of objective. No. Enemy in possession of objective. No, not currently. They're close. Enemy within 10 inches of objective. Yes. Alright, so target becomes closest enemy within not 10 inches of objective. So, Montoya is and Brick is, but I don't know that either of them can be shot from your current perspective, sir. Yeah, just out of range. Wow, even further. So you'd have to move 4 inches to get her. Alright, so Davy, you're... I don't know. Because it says you become the target, but you can't do anything with the target. Range weapon drawn, yes. Jammed weapon, no. Target and range and line of sight, no. Holding an objective that cannot be moved, no. Move towards target and in cover if possible. Okay. I missed a part of the flowchart because it didn't move on me when I told it to the first time. Got it. So you're going to move up towards your target. Davy moves up and... Oh, he failed. Never mind. He can only go with 1. Alright. Back to the La Dogs. It is Officer Dutch. Officer Dutch, what do you choose to do, sir? You failed to activate, sir. You have a -1, therefore you are at an 8, so you are aggressive. You are defensive. Aggressive, defensive. And your target is easiest to wound. Alright, so... What do we say? Aggressive, yeah. So you're going to move towards them and attack. So, since you can't target anyone, where are you, Dutch? There you are. You're going to move up and get in position to shoot with your assault rifle because no one's within 24 of you. Just outside. So you're going to move up and then fire at the twins. Shots fired! Shots fired! First shots of the round. Dutch. You have a range skill of 4, sir. Target number is 10. You need a 6 to hit with your weapon. Let's see. Target is in light cover. Yes, I wouldn't say heavy cover. So, -1 on the roll. So, yeah. You technically need 7 on the die. Alright, first shot. Let's see if he gets a 7. No! He does not. Twins duck and the bullet misses them, landing into the dirt in front of them. Hey, hey! He successfully activated, so his turn still has the turn. So it passes to Officer O'Brien. Officer O'Brien attempts to activate. Officer O'Brien scores a 1, failing his activation miserably. Officer O'Brien is going with aggressive, defensive, easiest to hit. Aggressive, defensive. So, very similar. And this is, who said O'Brien? So O'Brien's going to move up and attempt to be within position. You are outside of his range though, right? Yeah. So yeah, they're staying in light cover if possible. Which makes sense. You don't want to get hit if you can avoid it. He failed, so it passes back to the other team. And so the Killjoys are up. Killjoys are up. They have the twins, who's actually activating next. He just got shot at. What is he going to do? He's going to attempt to activate, and he activates successfully. He then selects the option to do what? He decides he's been shot at. He's going to duck and play it cautious. He's going to go ahead and be offensive. So he is cautious, offensive, and his target is going to be the leader. So he is not happy that the leader's there. He does have a flamethrower and a light weapon. A flamethrower is a template option. Let's see, its range is like 12 inches. I don't have a handy template. That is a problem. Where is flamethrower? I'm looking for it. Let me check the book that he came in. I know I saw it, but for some reason my eyes are not seeing it here, which is very frustrating. Oh, forgot to say the options here. We need to actually pay attention to them, don't we? The special rules in effect, of course, we've already mentioned Motivator. We have Hard as Nails. Hard as Nails means the model knows how to take a hit after being hit by an attack, but before their wound roll. So before you wound. The target may roll a d10. Reduce the strength of the attack by the result on the die. So basically, if you hit martial law, he rolls a d10 and subtracts that result from your weapon's strength, potentially just negating your ability to wound him. Because he's like, you got a 0 strength weapon against me. I don't care. Caustic Blood is on Davy. The model seems normal, but its blood is dangerous and acidic. Whenever the model is wounded or taken out of action, all models within 2 inches suffer a Strength 7 hit. We have 2 heads. When taking an activation test, the model may reroll failed result. If a second failure means that the heads have had a falling out and the model gains no AP, so you can reroll, but if you fail again, you get nothing. Okay, I need to remember that. Because he just is up now. Did he fail? I think he succeeded though, didn't he? Yeah, he succeeded this time, so it doesn't matter. But I need to remember that. Pokey has spikes, and Snake Eyes has Chameleon. So Chameleon for Snake Eyes is the model can change its appearance. Any model that is 12 inches or farther away from the model must make a Intelligence 10, so Metal 10, test if it wishes to attack the model at ranged attack. Electric Shock is actually on Kilroy. The model can generate Electronic Burst. Enemy model that comes in base contact and starts its activation in base contact must make a Agility 10, so a Metal 10 check, or suffer a Strength 6 hit automatically. Determine the result of the hit before any actions are performed. Only one enemy may be affected by this ability per game turn. Spikes. Mutant has large spikes that jut out from its various parts of its body, making melee attacks against the model suffer. Model must pass a Agility target 10 metal test or suffer a Strength 6 hit. However, if it's a melee weapon with reach, it can ignore it. Cool. There we go. Those are the special rules. I remembered I hadn't gone over them, so I wanted to quickly go over them. Let's see. Flamethrower uses the flame template. I thought I had one of those. I know I had the Warhammer ones. And that's the right one to use. Here we go. I was like, I know there's one somewhere. Perfect. Alright, so now we have our flamer. That's why I wanted to get it out. So, Davy, or twins, where are you? Yeah, you're gonna have to move up quite a bit to be able to get within range. because you're gonna have to be like up there. Whoop. Just trying to get it to show me where he'd need to be to actually hit. The collision on that is annoying. I kind of wish this didn't have collision, because it keeps colliding on that. Alright, close enough, I think. Nope, has to move forward. You can see by the shadow. I really wish... Yeah, see, it's colliding. It shouldn't collide on the bottom. Oh well, let's move up. So he needs to be up to there to actually hit. I really thought that would not collide like that. That's kind of frustrating. So if you guys go with a flamer, I'm going to need to find a better template to use than that one. Preferably one that doesn't have collision. So, I mean, I guess I could just see if I can turn collision off this, because that's one thing we do not want. Because the collision just is not good on something like this. It's not that. I'm trying to remember if there's a option to turn collision off. I thought there was, and I'm just not recalling. I'm like, come on, brain. Oh. Let me guess, it's custom asset bundles, so there's no way to do it. Alright, I'll just have to get a different template and be sure there's no collision box on it. But he'd have to be like up here to get them. So let's see, that is more than he has for movement, I'm sure. Yeah, he can only move 10 at most, so that's out of range. So with him going cautious offensive, my guess is he's going to move up towards them. So let's see, cautious offensive. Cautious offensive. Are you in cover? Yes. Do you have a ranged weapon drawn? Yes. Is potential enemy in charge range? No. Is weapon jammed? No. Is target in range or line of sight? Oh, in range and line of sight? No. Are you prone? No. Move towards target but stay out of charging distance of enemy if possible. Kind of what I thought. Cool. I mean, probably move up further, but that's going to risk. Yeah, you could climb down there. He has the movement to get there. So he's there. He's successfully passed. So that means turn goes to Snake Eyes. Alright, where were we on... I know we're on Snake Eyes now, but I think did we finish everyone on their turn? No. Brick and Law still need to go, right, because O'Brien failed his So he just went there. Alright, Snake Eyes. Trying to make sure the dog takes care of himself too. The staples are less than pleasant to look at. And of course, for some reason, he decides that he should lay on the staples because, you know, that makes total sense. You know, rub dirt into the wound. Alright. Snake Eyes activation test. Snake Eyes succeeds. Snake Eyes is what? Ooh, Snake Eyes is cautious. And he is objective. Cautious, objective, closest. Closest objective. Cautious objective means in possession of objective? No. Enemy in possession of objective? No. Enemy within 10 of objective. Yes. Target becomes closest enemy within 10 inches. Range weapon. Yes. In cover. Yes. Weapon jammed. No. Target in range in line of sight. No. What? Holding objective could be no. Move towards target ending in cover. Got it. Snake Eyes. Closest is that one to you. Yeah. So you're gonna move that way. There's no way up there, so you're gonna move down there. Got it. Cool! You move over there, moving towards the objective. Good job, Snake Eyes. Good job. Pokey, you're up. Do you activate? Pokey fails to activate, getting 1 AP. He is doing what this turn? Pokey is going to be cautious, defensive. Easiest to hit. Cautious, defensive. Interesting. They have been all cautious this turn. Have you noticed that? That's interesting. Maybe they got shot at, so now they're keeping their heads down. Probably what it is. Since Officer Dutch fired a shot at 2 heads and missed him, they heard the shot ring out, and now they're all keeping their heads down. I don't want to get shot! Enemy model closer than target. Let's see. Pokey. Not really. You're in cover. Your range weapon is drawn. You're not within charge distance. Your weapon is not jammed. Target is not in line of sight. Well, in range, in line of sight. Line of sight, yes, potentially, not range. You only have 1 move though, so we'll have you go that. No, we'll have you go that way. It makes sense for you to continue up there. So, Pokey gets there and turn ends. We have Kilroy left to do, and Officer Brick is going to go now. Officer Brick succeeds. What is Officer Brick doing this time? Officer Brick is going to be cautious, since he heard the shot ring out and all the noise happening from the mutants, and he's going to go ahead and go on the offensive. And he's going to try to target anyone he can wound. So, Officer Brick, just to let you know... Oh, wait a minute. No, Officer Brick is that. So he's not cautious. He is reserved. So, reserved, offensive. Reserved means cover, unjam, prone, combat. Concentrate, burst, suppressive fire is the order of priorities. However, Officer Brick only has a melee weapon, so probably he's going to cautiously move towards the enemy, I would think. Kind of like the flowchart better, honestly. I'm kind of liking the flowchart better. Because you just simply answer a few, answer a few questions, and it says, do that. It's kind of cool. I do like their flowchart. Trying to keep the music going since it decided to stop on us again. Hello, don't get off my music, you mean people. I don't understand why it keeps leaving the playlist. Isn't YouTube supposed to stay on the playlist when you say to stay on the playlist? Crazy thing. Let's switch it up, see if reinitiate the playlist, see if that gets it to straighten itself out. Alright. So, that's kind of how the play goes. We haven't really got to wound anyone yet, unfortunately. It's been a little bit crazy, and definitely using that has taken longer. So, let's see. Brick is there. He's going to move towards there. Because he got non-objective. But he failed, so he has... Or no, he did pass, so he has 2. 10 would get him up there, and he could be in cover. Alright, cool. Brick went, so law. Martial law. You succeed. And you're going to do what? You are cautious, objective, closest. Makes sense. You pass, so you have 10 moves. Next turn, martial law may actually acquire one of the water tanks. Uh-oh. He's also not far from being in range of some enemy fellows. But it is now Kilroy's turn. Kilroy! I'm Kilroy! Passes, and Kilroy is going to be... Whoa! He is not happy this round. He is aggressive, and he is going for the objective with vigor. He's going to least allies. Wow. Oh, no models from either side. So that would be probably that one. Okay, what? I'm going to have to restart the music all the way from the start again because it is just really not wanting to obey. I don't know if YouTube is just having a bad day, if it's just confused, or what. I have it on looped and shuffle. It should stay on the playlist, and it should keep going. But It keeps not. Oh well. Alright, so back to Kilroy. He succeeded. He's doing right. Aggressive, that. Right. So he's going to move for that one, I think. Yep, so he's charging that one. So both leaders are within range of an objective. However, they also see that each other are within range of an objective. So they may take shots at each other next turn. Ooh. Let's see what happens. Montoya just keeps failing activation, so it's not gone very well. So we'll see what happens. Top of round 4. Bing! Montoya activates. Fails. Well, Montoya is not doing well. Davy. Davy fails. Again. What is with Montoya and Davy? They've failed so many times. Alright, Davy, you have reserved defensive. Cool. Back to the low dogs. Dutch. Dutch succeeds his activation with a 5, just making it. He gets a C5, reserved objective closest. Oh wait, that's Dutch. Interesting. Enemies within range, though, so yeah, he's going to take pot shots at this guy. He's going to take 3 shots at him. Three shots because he's spending 2 AP to shoot, because he has a burst weapon. He also is using a burst weapon, so he gets to shoot, and he gets to shoot more than once because it's burst weapon. If he spends all AP to shoot, he gets to shoot an additional time, so 3 total. He does need a, oh wow, that's a hit and a miss. So hit, miss. He has 4, so he hits on a 6. So 2 hits on Kilroy. Kilroy has strength 6. So we're going to need to mark that he has 2 wounds. Two hits from Dutch. Bing, bing. Those are going to take place at the end of it. So next person who fails activation. So next up is B. O'Brien. O'Brien, do you activate, sir? You do! Excellent! O'Brien, what are you going to do? O'Brien is going to be cautious. As he hears the shots ringing out, he keeps his head down and keeps his eye on the prize, going for the defensive stance. Alright. So he is cautious, defensive. And I'm just going to use the flowchart for it, because it makes more sense. Cautious, defensive. Enemy model target. Closer than target. 16. What do you have, O'Brien? You have the shotgun. Shotgun has a range of... Shotgun is 18 inches. So, take a shot. So, yeah, aim and shoot. So let's see. Enemy model close to becomes new target. In cover. Yes. Range weapon drawn. Yes. Jammed? No. Not within charge range. Yes. No. Let's see. Need 6 or better to hit target? Yes. Need 6 or better to hit target? Yes, you do. Shoot target using burst? No, because you don't have a burst weapon. Shoot target using concentrated fire. So you're going to concentrate and fire, giving you +1, so you need a 5+ to hit with your shotgun. You miss. Boing! Alright, well, he missed. He did successfully activate those, so now it is Brick's turn. Brick gets a 4, failing his activation, so he only has 1. Alright, he is going to go with the reckless, offensive, easiest to hit. So that'd be him. Come on, Brick. Work with me here. Work with me. Alright, there's Brick. Brick failed, so we have Law left. However, now that it's the end of the round, it's Kilroy's team's turn. He took 2 hits. So we test to see if they actually wound. So wounding is strength versus defense. So Kilroy's defense is 6. Strength on the assault rifle is... where is it? Assault rifle strength 7. So 7 versus 6. Is it straight or do you roll a d10? I'm trying to remember. I think you roll a d10, but it may be just to compare. But that wouldn't make sense. So I think it's a, yeah. Let me look at it here. Give me just a moment. It's an opposed test. Okay. Want to make sure. So it's a d10 plus 7 versus a d10 plus 6. So this is going to be our friend Kilroy, and this is going to be the shots against him. Oof, that is 1 wound, Mr. Kilroy. You are down to 1 wound. Never mind. Kilroy's down. Kilroy is down. Repeat, Kilroy is down. Shots fired. Shots fired. Kilroy's down. So, Mr. Officer Dutch successfully took someone out of action. Wow, well done, Dutch. Well done, Dutch. Everyone give Dutch a clap. Alright. So, Kilroy doesn't get to go. She dead. It was 2 heads turn anyways. But they all need to take a test now because their leader is out. So, metal test for Davy. No, because it's not Davy's turn. So, twins. Twins stay. Snake Eyes stays. And Pokey. GTS. Oh, so GTO. Because we'll leave the F off, because we don't need that. GTMO, get the mutant out. So that means on Pokey's turn, he's going to try to bail out. And, ooh, well done, twins. You successfully do it. Where is the Pokey so we don't forget? Pokey's there, so closest edge. Alright. Your turn. So you successfully go. What are you going to do? Are you going to go for the objective this time? Nope, you're going to be cautious, defensive, and your target is going to be easiest to wound. Which is actually O'Brien. So you hear movement over there, and you're going to move over and fire at him. Flamer. O'Brien screams. Twins is done. O'Brien, or Brick, has been burnt. Brian hears the scream of his fellow companion. That means Snake Eyes goes. Snake Eyes, do you successfully activate? You do, Snake Eyes. What are you going to do, Snake Eyes? You and your machine pistol have done no work. You are going to go for the objective, sir, and you are going to aggressively go for that objective. And that is going to be no model within 5, so that means you're actually going to move towards that one. So Snake Eyes moves over to grab the water, because he knows that even if Kilroy's down, his town needs the water. So he is seeking to get that water for his town. Will he accomplish it? Find out next turn! Pokey already did his to get off, and so it goes back to Officer Law. What is Marshal Law going to do? He has seen his colleague take someone down, and he fails his activation. 1 AP, what are you going to do, Law? You're going to be cautious objective, so you're going to hold the objective since you don't have 2 AP. What you're going to do is you're going to move up and hunker down to be in a safe position so you can guard the objective. Alright, next turn. Up first is Outrider Montoya. Is she actually going to do something? Is she going to finally succeed one of her activation tests? No. No, she's not. She's going to take a shot at Davy. Oh, forgot. Turn shifted, so does Brick take a wound? Brick has a defense 6 against Davy's Flamer, which has a strength of, let me look, 6. So it's just a straight D6 versus D6. Alright, let me look here. Flamer. Limited ammo. Movement penalty. Oh, I didn't see that. Ignores minus penalty. Yeah, it ignores cover essentially. Concentrated. Yeah, it just hits those under the template, right? Okay. Flammable flamethrowers sweep the area, right? Okay. Okay. So at the end, he's also going to need to do a metal test or take an additional D6 hit. No. Okay. Strength 3. And that means he doesn't take that one. Now we'll see if he takes the other one. I'm just checking the other limited ammo. Where's limited ammo rule? Come on. You're not giving me the limited ammo rule? I know it means he's only supposed to have a certain number of shots or something, but I'm not seeing that here. But it doesn't matter for this mission. We'll deal with it on the other. So we are good to go on that. So he needs to do a 10 versus 10. See who gets higher. Ooh, he takes the wound. And Brick having only one wound means he is down and out of action. In a scream of fiery death, Brick goes down. Wow, you took someone out of action there, twins. Good job. Alright, so there's someone down on both teams now. That was Brick that went down. Wow, sad day for both teams. Alright, next up is, like I said, Outrider Montoya. She is going to shoot at Davy. Did she hit Davy? I'm trying to remember. No, we didn't check that yet. So she's going to shoot at Davy. She has a range skill of 4, so she needs a 6 to hit. She fails to hit. So, turn goes to Davy. Davy activates. Fails his activation. We'll just take a shot back at her. 6+. He hits. So, let's see. Strength on rifle is 7, so 7 versus 6. Davy rolls a 2. Montoya rolls a 5. Montoya shrugs off the hit. She is just grazed. Which means that she will need to probably make a morale test, right? No, only if she's wounded. Alright. So that's Davy's turn. So back to the other team. Officer Dutch, you are up again. You have seen someone go down in a torrent of flame. You fail your activation because you're afeared. And oh, I forgot to roll for Davy going off the map, actually. Yeah, Davy failed. He would have actually been running off. I messed it up. Yep. Davy's gone. Davy ran. Because his leader's out of turn, and I forgot to do the morale for him. So yeah, he booked it. Dutch failed, so he only gets one move. Move up to be able to get the water. Since you can't actually take it right now, you're going to hold it, just like your commander's doing. Turn goes back to... Actually, the twins should have activated. Twins, do you activate? Yes, you do. You have to see what you do, right? And you are going to be cautious, offensive, specialist. So you're going to go for Montoya. Yes, you're in cover. You have a rain wedge from drawn. You're not within potential range. Your weapon is not jammed. Target in line of sight, no. As much as I think he'd go there, I think he would just go up and do this one, because it's something he can do. Yeah, so he's just going to douse in flame. Alright, so he's going to hit O'Brien with the flame. And Snake Eyes, you're going to attempt to activate. 5. You pass, Snake Eyes. What are you going to do, Snake Eyes? Yeah, because you passed your morale last time. Pokey didn't. You're going to be reserved. You're going to go for the objective. And your target's going to be highest value, so closest. Because that's most likely to get it. Snake Eyes, you're there. So you're going to move up to that one. Snake Eyes moves in position to try to acquire the water. So next turn he can try to get that if he successfully activates. Next up is Pokey. Does Pokey continue to run, or does Pokey find his courage? Pokey hears his friends continuing on, so he gets his courage. He's going to try to activate and see if he can do something. He successfully activates, and this turn, after regaining his courage, he is going to be cautious. But he is going to go ahead and on the cautious defensive option and target the specialist. Actually, you'd see Marshall there. Take a couple pot shots at him would make the most sense for Pokey, because he has a submachine gun. Which I believe, let's verify, submachine gun does have burst, but only has 16-inch range. That's the downside. It's a shorter range than the assault rifle. Yeah. Go ahead, you're going to take 3 shots on Marshall. Alright, you need a... You have 4, so you need a 6 to hit, so 1 hit. And you're the last one to go, so let's go ahead and resolve that. You have a 6 for 6. Yeah, 6 for 6. See who wins. Ooh, Marshall takes a wound. Ow, Marshall is hit. Let's go ahead and see if he decides to run or sticks around. He has only needs 3+ to stick around. Oh no, Marshall leaves. Uh-oh. Marshall got hit and is running. Oh no! What will happen? What will happen? Pretty cool. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I think I'm going to call it here. Just because I want to, do a little bit of the Necromunda again. I do hope you've enjoyed it, though. And I hope this kind of tells you how the game plays. It's a lot quicker when you're making decisions for your own team instead of, actually making the decisions, instead of keep referencing a AI chart. So it does go a lot quicker when you're the actual one doing it. So the game would have actually probably been done by now if we'd actually just, made our own decisions and done it. But I want to try it out, see how the AI rules worked, give an example of how the different turns and stuff go. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, holler, let me know. And let's get some Necromunda going. Gonna go ahead and do a quick pre-roll while we get Necromunda up, so people can come in and visit us without the ads. Alright, where is it? Let's get that up. Do that for an hour. But I am looking forward to getting that campaign going. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.